Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. The stadium was packed with spectators for the memorable football match. It was the Catholic Tigers against the Protestant Lions. And Jesus had volunteered to be the referee. He would be the fairest of referees. Just before the match, the TV commentator, who was to follow the match, had a short interview with Jesus as referee. He asked him how many spectators he thinks were there in the stadium. And Jesus answered, "Well, there must be all of them. I don't know how to count." Jesus blew the whistle and the match started. Barely 2 minutes into the match, the Catholic Tigers scored the first goal. Half the spectators exploded in cheers and half just booed them down. 4 minutes later, the Protestant Lions scored their first goal. Again, cheers and boos coming from different sides this time. The match was super exciting, and both teams continued scoring in quick succession. The TV commentator approached Jesus again after the match and asked him how many goals have been scored and who has scored the greatest number of goals. Jesus answered, "Well, it must be all the goals by both sides. I don't know how to count." Have you ever realized that God does not know how to count? Numbers mean nothing to him. Just look at the skies on a clear night. Can you count the stars? Look at the oceans. Can you count the waves? Look at the forests. Can you count the leaves? Look at people. Can you count their thoughts, their actions? Today, the feast of the Blessed Trinity, the Church is inviting us to stop counting and rather concentrate on the only one thing that counts: everything. She is inviting us to see multiples as one and one as a multiple. I'm sorry for the mathematicians among us, because we humans are limited in time. We are limited in energy and resources. We find ourselves constantly counting people, years, hours, money, blessings, curses. Because we do not have it all, we count the little we have or the little we think we can get. Counting is making the most out of the little we have. Those who have it all do not need to count. Even the concept of God as three and one at the same time shakes, challenges us from deep within. It is the most wonderful and challenging good news. We are many. We are one. Don't let me confuse you. This truth is difficult to grasp because in our small-mindedness, we want somehow to understand life, which is a big mistake. Life cannot be understood. Life cannot be analyzed. Life cannot be explained. Life can only be lived. And life is only lived when it is loved. Love does not know how to count. Love does not distinguish between you and me and the other. Love does not care whether it is now, tomorrow, or always. Love is simply love. Love cannot distinguish between one and many because each one, in his or her uniqueness, is part of the same fullness of togetherness. No need to go into philosophical or intellectual considerations. No. Just think of your mom and your dad. Think of your child, your husband, your wife. Think of anyone whom you love deeply and truly. Is it not when you are close and united with your beloved that you discover and feel fully and completely yourself? Is it not at home that you really feel at home? Is it not when you are with a truly loved and loving person that you feel at peace and can afford to be fully yourself? And is it not when you feel safe and loved that you actually succeed to forget all about yourself? Because you can afford to be simply yourself. This is our God. He is neither he nor she. He is he, she, and us all at the same time, without giving up on being he, she, or us. We celebrate the Holy Trinity because we adore unity. We adore communion. We adore a God who is pure love. Our God is this simple, yet universal and absolute love that is the beginning and the end of all that is and of all that can be. We have been created to share in this amazing love which makes us all God's image and likeness. We are all givers, signified by God the Father. We are all receivers, signified by God as Son. We are infinite openness and united in one togetherness at the same time, signified by God as Spirit. Don't worry about processing this in your little minds. Just concentrate on living out your living togetherness with those around you, hour by hour, day by day. True love does not know how to count either blessings or trials, either days or nights, successes or failures, people, things, money. The day you stop counting is the day that you start living. And the day that you start living is the same day that you start loving. Life, no, it's not a football match. But life is matching your actions to your love without counting the blessings or the wounds.